Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. My name is Jack and this is the latest episode of the United Community Podcast with, of course, Chris and Ben, as always, are with us. And look, we've had a busy week in relation to Manchester United. We've qualified for a European final and we've also had another shitty result against West Ham in the Premier League. And the contrast between how well we're doing in Europe to how poor we're doing in the league has never been more evident than this week. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about Ruben Amorim as well. A lot of the pundits, a lot of the media coming out in relation to maybe negativity around him and, you know, should he actually be the manager? Should he be sacked this early on? So we'll talk a little bit about that. And I want to know your thoughts more than anything else, guys. We're going to make it as interactive as possible. So please do get your comments into the live chat as well. As always, Sean is there as well and Brian are already in and they're talking about Onana. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But look, let's jump straight in. Chris, you've had a bee in your bonnet the last couple of days around Ruben Amorim, and you know, maybe the tone of my live on Monday night as well, and you know, pundits going in on Amorim and so on and so forth. So I'll let you take the floor and we'll jump in and kind of, you know, agree or disagree with you. So off you go.
No, I mean, yes. I mean, a bee in my bonnet, that's kind of light because I just don't understand, like, and I'll, you know, throw the names out there, the pundits, Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, Roy Keane, all the legends and players, pundits, their shit. Like, I mean, because honestly, what is, and I said this earlier in the backstage, is that what is any of those three guys, what have they done to help the club? Nothing. I don't know of anything. I mean, besides Gary Neville doing some rehearsed interview with Sir Jim, I mean, other than that, all they do is tear down the club. I don't see, I mean, in American sports, ex-players of, let's just say the Baltimore Ravens, Ray Lewis, he'll step on the field and he'll help the players and he'll because you know that the Baltimore Ravens had this moniker of being a tough defensive team and you go out and you hit and you kill people, like you just take their soul. You don't see those guys. I mean, again, you guys are closer to it than I am. I don't hear about them going to Carrington and helping. I don't hear about them, you know, sitting down and talking to the players. Besides, you know, Neville doing what serves Neville and, you know, his podcast, you know, and everything like that. Like, I don't see them going there. And as Ben said earlier, like when they were at the club was different. Well, I don't see them going there and trying to instill the same kind of values into the players that they had when they were there. Like and I go, that's where I have a problem now, because everybody wants to say, oh, Amorim's not getting the best out of his players. Well, how about maybe tell me how he's not? Because I think he is getting the best out of them. They're just not good enough. The players just aren't good enough. Like, there are certain players that are good, like Bruno, Ahmad is, you know, and everything like that. Garnett, I mean, and don't get me wrong, some of them are still young and learning, but what do you want these players to do? Like, we've had many games where we've started 4 to 5 teenagers, like literally teenagers. They're in their team. They have a teen, 19, 17, 6, 15, not 15, but 18, you know, and we have, along with those teenagers, you have a couple guys that are 20 and 21. Besides Wayne Rooney, what players come through that at that age and has just dominated or been that guy? No one.
Probably talking maybe Ryan Giggs.
Okay, so you have Giggs.
But it's not a lot. You're right. It's not a lot.
But when Giggs came into the team, who did he have around him?
Yeah.
Like, even when Ronaldo came into the team, who did he have around him? They had a structure around them that they could go and they could make mistakes, and the team's not going to suffer dearly for it. We don't have that. And for everybody to go in and hammer and say, oh, well, he's not getting the best. And the one thing that I hear a lot, oh, he should have changed his system to fit the players. Well, how does that benefit Manchester United? If you wanted that, you should have stayed with Ruud Van Nistelrooy as a caretaker manager for the rest of the season. And that would have set us back even farther, because then Amorim would have came in the summer. He wouldn't have known what he had already. Hence Rashford, hence, you know, what he has in Garnacho, and seeing if he can play. It would have set us back another 6 months. So I mean, then you're going to go out and you're going to buy a couple players. Then you're going to learn, oh, well, Garnacho really can't play at 10. Oh, so-and-so can't do this and so-and-so can't do that. Like, we knew this coming in when he got hired in November. This is going to be shit. And, do I love watching the West Ham game on Sunday? No, it was killing me. But, I mean, let's go back into it. The best out of players. He just got Mason Mount back, literally. Like, Luke Shaw just came back and looks like a shell of himself. Like, what is he supposed to do to get the best out of him? So now, I mean, you have to bend your will to the player. So, Luke, you like to play fullback, so I guess we have to play 4-4-2 or 4-3-3 just so we can put you in the team. Are you serious? Like, is Luke Shaw all world to that's who we're going to change the team for? Like, I can understand if you had prime Messi or prime Ronaldo, you tinker things to fit their skill set, but we don't have that player. Even Bruno got that player.
When Ruben Amorim, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, so I agree with that. I don't want Ruben Amorim to go. I think he's the man for the job. How can we go from? I think were we 6 points off of?
We were 10th. We were 6 points off, but we were 10th.
Yeah. How can we go from that to where we are since Ruben Amorim has come in without some of the blame being on him? Now, again, I'm only playing devil's advocate.
I'm not going to say there's not any. I'm not going to say I'm going to hold the manager accountable to a certain point, but I'm also going to hold the fact that we lost Ahmad, who scored 42% of our goals for the second half of the season. So your number one scorer goes down. So you lost him. I mean, Lisandro Martinez was gone in December, so you lost him for the second half of the season. Yeah. I mean, we've had injuries that. I mean, he came into the team, and all of a sudden, bang, bang. Now, all of a sudden, you got two arms tied behind your back. And we were lucky that Aiden Heaven came in and actually,
stemmed the flow a little bit.
Yeah, it's the same as that though. It's the same as that. Amorim did tell us though. He did say that we're going to go backwards before we go forwards. It's not like it was a shock. He actually said that when he came in, didn't he? And says that we're going to be worse before we get better.
And do you think it's like, do you think it's down to the players? Like, obviously you get a bad run in the league, and look, I think it was probably from, I mean, I would say maybe early February we knew we weren't going to get into any European competition through the league. Is it as simple as saying that the players have just gone, we'll turn it on for Europa League because we've still got things to play for there, and we'll just, we'll piss our way through the Premier League, because we all know that that's unacceptable, and for what seems like a fucking whole squad to do that. And I understand there are, minor things within games where, you're creating chances, and, we don't have a striker pretty much. And, there's times, there's been a couple of phases throughout the season where we've really lacked a bit of creativity, and and then we've gone through maybe a couple of phases where defensively we've looked off it for a few weeks. Is it as simple as that, or is it as simple as the players going, eh?
I don't think it's the players going, eh. I think you also got to look at this.
What I'm trying to do is, and I think what everyone is trying to do is, fucking Jesus Christ, why has this happened? Because they are not the 17th or the 16th worst squad in the Premier League. They're just not. And I think every fan, is, and again, like, I'm pulling my hair out, coming on and doing content, as much as I do it with G and on my own and so on and so forth, going, I mean, what else can I say?
I mean, I don't think there's anything else that you can say. I just think that, I mean, and I'm going to be honest, like, I'd have to really go back and look at the research or when these other guys played and stuff like that. But I don't remember the Premier League being as competitive as it has been this past year in recent years, with your Bournemouths and your Brentfords, and I'm just going to throw that out there. But at the same time, like, Amorim's not giving in and saying, okay, we're going to play park the bus and we're going to counterattack.
Yeah, I understand that, and I agree with you on that one as well, and he's right to do that. But I will disagree about the competitiveness of the Premier League. We've had the title wrapped up as quicker than I remember. We've also had the 3 relegated teams, relegated as quick as I remember. You're talking about maybe a mid-block level of teams that maybe have solidified their Premier League status over the last 2 years. Your Brentfords, your Brightons, your Crystal Palaces, whatever the case may be. But for how poor the Premier League has been this season, and then Man United to be 16th in the league, it's inexcusable, really.
No, and I'm going to say that, but I mean, he's going to set up the team, and we've watched the team get set up, and we've watched him play. And what else besides him going out there and having his hand up someone's ass and telling them where to move and how to move?
Yeah.
What else can he do? You put the players out there. If they don't want to play, I mean, this is just goes back to all the way back to Ralph Ragnick saying open heart surgery, and these guys are shit. And then they brought in, Eric Ten Hag came in, and Ronaldo came in, and he painted over a little bit. We got some,
Yeah, but remember when we were able to actually score fucking goals, lads?
No, and that's the other thing. Like we don't like. I watched
we would kill now for a forward line of Rashford, Ronaldo, and Garnacho. We would kill for that now.
I don't know if I put Garnacho in there. I do Rashford.
Or not Garnacho, sorry. I meant to say Greenwood. Sorry.
Yes,
Rashford,
absolutely.
Rashford, Ronaldo, and Greenwood. You know what I mean?
Yes,
We
absolutely.
would murder lads for that forward line now.
Yes, but that's the thing. It's like, and I'll be honest with you, and this is just something that it's been bothering me for a while, and I've said it a couple of times. I have never seen a team get so many shots blocked like us. We take shots, and their players are always in front of whenever we shoot, as opposed to everybody else that shoots against us, and we block.
Yeah, but you know what that is, Chris? We're too fucking slow to get a shot off.
Yeah, and
we're allowing defender getting too tight to us. But
that's the thing. So you look at it and you go, but I mean, in the West Ham game, I don't know if you watched it at all or anything, but it was just like, it's the first time I've seen Rasmus make in the first half. He made some diagonal runs and he got the ball, but then the problem is there's no one around him. There's nothing. There's no team around him to do anything, and it's just like, we're so disjointed as a team with everybody coming back and who's going to play here. I look at it and I go, because we have so many injuries and we have so many things going on that how many times have we changed the lineup so much that it's like there's no continuity. And we're so afraid to put the guys out there because they're going to get hurt. Like against West Ham, I mean, Lenny Euro, 19 year is he 18, 19, right? He's 19.
Yes. 18, 19, yeah.
Okay. He was our center back. Like our leading, you put a 19-year-old as our leading center back. Like go to any other team above us and tell me when they have a 19-year-old playing center back, like by himself. Like, and then you have Luke Shaw, and then you have who'd you have on the other side? Mazraoui on the other side. Like Mazraoui's really not a center back, but he plays there. Luke Shaw is really not a center back, but he plays there. Like, we had one center back on the field. Like, let's be honest with that. Like, and then you have Harry Amos that, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that goal. Tomas Suchek is going to murder Harry Amos every time. Like, I mean, that's just it. I mean, it's just you have a 17-year-old going against a 30-year-old that's been in the league for how long?
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Right. Let me before we go on to the next part then and my response to that, let me read a couple of comments here. D says, the more I look at Neville and listen to him, the more he appears like an absolute weasel. The fellas worm and then hate, they spout the negativity and bring the pressure they have been. Yeah, see, a lot of it is as well, like Neville obviously has a big voice and he's a former United player and he's on Sky Sports and he's got his own YouTube channel and this and that and the other. And he's got a platform to be negative about United. Now, I can understand that you can't be positive when there's nothing positive to talk about. And there's very little positivity to talk about, when it comes to United. I mean, Jesus, we try and be as positive as we can here, but you know what I mean? There's only certain, there's only so much you can actually talk about, Aaron says, question, boys, now, I don't want this, but would it be better without the Champions League to spend more time on the training? Again, I don't want this, but just asking. Well, there you go, boys. I mean, like I mentioned it the other night, obviously the financial aspect and the rebuild would benefit more from getting Champions League football. But in terms of coaching the current crop of players that you may be keeping, maybe not getting European football would be a benefit as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. But you want Champions League football, don't you? Let's be honest.
You do. Yeah, you do.
Can you imagine Manchester United playing once a week?
Yeah, could you imagine me having a cup season ticket and having no cup games to go to? And that would be typical, you know what I mean?
Doesn't Carabao Cup, an FA Cup, is that not?
Yeah, it does. But see, the thing about it is the money that you pay at the start of the season for the cup season ticket, it only covers the European group stage games. So they would have to rejig it somehow, maybe, and just charge us for, if we do get drawn at home. But yeah, it would be a big loss in terms of revenue.
As much as I agree with Aaron, because the idea is sound, because we need more time on the training pitch, but I think we need more time as Amorim just has a preseason with the players that he wants. He needs to be backed in the summer. I don't know who those players are, whether he wants Liam Delap, whether he wants. I mean, you hear about all this Liam Delap. It's so close. It's this, that, and the other. It's like, and I've said this. It's like, I wouldn't mind buying Liam Delap for the price that they're talking about, but he can't lead the line. That's my problem. Like, I like Liam Delap at that price for United, but he can't be the only striker there with Rasmus Højlund. You need somebody else like an Edison Cavani or someone else that can lead the line to show him how to play. And I go, because the amount of money for Liam Delap was at 30 million euros release clause. Like that's a good price for a kid, for a striker his age with the potential that he's shown. So I'm not saying he's not a good buy, but he can't, like with Rasmus, you can't put him up top and say, hey, you're going to score 30 goals for us, because he's not going to.
Exactly.
If he scores 30 goals, I may shave my head. I look like Oshie.
Wouldn't take long. Moving on. We've got let's see, how do I let me try and pronounce this. Vibe have. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm really sorry. Love from New Delhi, India. Always love you guys. Appreciate it, man. And he says, very sad as we Barcelona missed the finals just by 3 minutes, but supporting United in the Europa League final. Well, thanks for joining and welcome as always. Finn is in as well, says evening. Hamels is in as well. And D says, I wouldn't like Liam Delap at any price for us. Right, talking about Ruben Amorim then and the summer coming up, and look, obviously people are talking about, he should be sacked and so on and so forth. And Amorim kind of hinted at, if I can't change the culture, someone else should fill this position. And you cannot look, anyone with a brain in their head knows what he's saying. He's not saying I don't want to be here. He's not saying I'm leaving. He's just saying, if I can't turn things around in another 12 to 18 months, I probably won't be here. Which you can understand. But going into the summer transfer window then, lads, I mean, we're talking about all United's frailties and Luke Shaw not being able to play centre-back. Mazraoui doesn't play centre-back. We have lads playing where they shouldn't be playing. They can't play here, but they should play there. We're missing a wing-back. We need a new goalkeeper. We need a striker. We need 2 midfielders. Realistically, what can we do in the summer? And how, like you're talking about, the only real 2 I suppose players that we've been heavily linked with has been Cunha and Liam Delap. Surely we need a lot more than that if we're going to, what are we targeting next season? If it is the 2 of them, maybe another central midfielder and a right wing back. Realistically, can you go with 1 pre-season under your belt and maybe 4 new signings? Can you go from 16th to 5th?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I do. I just think it's down to the outgoings that we've got as well. We don't actually know who's staying yet, do we? We don't know what money we're going to generate from the sales.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest issue, and we don't know how he's going to be backed.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to go to 5th, but I think we're going to go. We could easily. I think we could easily be between 6th and 8th at that point. Challenging for Europa again. If we get, I get it, I know, but you have to be realistic about. I mean,
know.
if the ball bounces the right way, then maybe we can. If we go on a run. But the difference
Why
is
can't we just do what Leicester done? You know what I mean? Where they scrape survival and then win the Premier League the following year.
Well, but I'm not saying that can't be done, but the difference is if you bring in someone if you bring in Yorkeres that scores 30 goals, that's going to flip your team on its head. Because our goal difference, not that it's it's terrible. We're minus right now, but if we're plus 20 because of his goals and then what he brings to the table, or Osimhen or whatever forward that you want to bring in, if we all of a sudden have a 20 to 25 goal scorer, that moves you from where we're at now at least to 8th. And then if something else happens with a Matthias Cunha, that what he does and what he brings to the table, that could put you in the 6th. I mean, our biggest problem is we can't score goals. We defend very well, as we've all known, but when you can only defend for so long before someone's going to break you.
Yeah.
If you can't score, then, I mean, Jack, as you play, you park the bus, you eventually someone's going to break through at that point. The teams are too good not to at that point,
Yeah, and I suppose this is my therapy as well, and I'm hoping because when I do the live shows on my own, it's up to me to be positive. I'm probably just fishing for me, going, just someone tell me it's going to be okay. You know what I mean?
I'll look at this. I look at this, and I'm going to say, I honestly think that we have a decent chance at getting Victor Gyökeres, because if he really wanted to go to Arsenal, he would have done what Zubamendi did and said he's going to Arsenal. Because they're ready to pay his release clause. He could come out and say, I'm going to Arsenal, and hey, everything's cut and dry and done.
Fuck, I hope
but he doesn't. He hasn't said that, and he's come out and said, I listened to other people, and they come out and said that he wants to wait until after the Portuguese season's done and everything like that, which I think that's that's a little cheeky, because I think if we do get Champions League, I think he wants to come play for Amorim.
I hope you're right.
I'm just putting it out there, because I think that's something that they already know, but we're not going to run out there and, because the moment someone runs out there and says, "Oh, he's waiting for you," "Oh, United's ready to do it," then everybody and their mother's going to try to stop us from doing it. So, I mean, my biggest thing is backing Amorim within the first 2 to 3 weeks of the window. You have to get into at least 3 players, and I think honestly, I don't know if we're going to get a wing back. I don't know that, because we have Diego Leon.
It's not probably a huge priority with the low there, and then you're talking about, Ahmad as well. And Dargu can, if needs be, play on the right hand side as well.
And I think we're okay. I think Inacio from Sporting is a real possibility of the center back, left-footed center back. I think you're going to get Cunha, and I think you're going to get a striker, and then I think you're going to really look at another midfielder. A lot of people have been saying, I was listening today, Adam Wharton. There's no way.
Yeah.
He's too much money. Crystal Palace will want a fortune for him, unless you can get him on installments. But I don't even know if I want him, because he's so young. I want someone that's a little bit more proven. And I'll be honest,
you're not a fan of Ederson from Atalanta, or is it just a price tag as well?
I'm not a fan of that price tag of 60. If he was more 35, I'd be okay with it. But I don't know how I've watched him play at Atalanta. I watched a couple of Serie A games. I don't know if he fits, to be honest with you. I think he fits more if you play more Ten Hag ball, then I think he fit better. But I don't know if he fits in this system, because I don't think what you see out of Casemiro and Ugarte is now they've started to read and break plays up. You know, in their cutting passing lanes and their winning balls. I don't think that he does that as well. You know, I think he's more, to me, he's more Fred than anything. And I don't know if that's what we need right now. I think, and like everybody's talking, oh, well, Zubamendi went to Arsenal. Good, let him go. I don't care. I mean, he didn't when we played him.
Yeah.
Like, what's he going to do?
Come on, Ben, you're looking to jump in there.
I'm not. I don't think
I was going to
Arsenal problems. So
I think a big thing for us season is the injuries as well. We need a season where we don't have players in the same position injured all the time. I think that's a big thing that we've had the last 2 seasons, isn't it? Injury list is bigger than the players that we've got available.
Yeah, and do you think a lot of that as well, though, Ben? Is, I mean, look, everybody is going to get injuries throughout the season, but again, you're talking about having real quality within your squad and a bit of depth within it as well, where you do get it in, and I think we're okay. Maybe, I mean, you see the amount of injuries we've got in defense this season, and we still seem to be okay. Now, we probably don't have our best 3 centre backs playing at the moment. You know, if it's De Ligt, Yoro and Martinez, they're probably the best 3 centre backs that we have, and they're all injured at the moment. You know, but maybe adding a bit of depth into the squad could counteract that a little bit. Yeah,
definitely. Like I say, we need Marzari signings, don't we? 13 million. That's what we need. We need this sort of signings. A couple of them, and we'll be laughing.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I mean, you look at it, and I think that you need the, you know, but we also have to be realistic, and you look at it and you go, okay, well, this is why I think it's so vital that we get Acuna and we get a lead the line striker, because where else are we going to get goals? You're not going to get Garnacho. And I mean, I'll say there's maybe a 5% chance that this would happen, that Garnacho turns into a 25 goal scorer from what he is this year to next year. Like, I don't.
I'd be happy with 15 from him next year.
And I get that, and I would be too. But I mean, you need more than that with him. You know, he needs, and honestly, and I'm probably in the minority, he needs to sit and he needs to watch players and see how they make decisions and the runs. And I think he needs to sit and watch Matthias Cunha and see how he sets people up to free other players up. His decision making is 2 steps ahead instead of, oh, now I have the ball. What do I do with it? He already knows what he wants to do.
But I think it needs to be a collective, though, as well, especially in Amorim's system, where we're talking about, like, if Garnacho could give us 13 goals next season, Cunha give us 17, Ahmad give us 15, Bruno give us, 18. All of a sudden, and then you've got your 20 goal a season striker on top of that. All of a sudden, you're going, all right, there's goals in this team. You know what I mean?
No, and I agree with it. But I think if you look at our, and this is, and you can tell, and you can crucify me for this one, but of all of our players, like our 10s that we have, that you can throw Bruno, Ahmad, Garnacho, Mount. Who else can we throw up there? Whoever else. Mason Mount's really the only goal first number 10 that we have. Like, he will try to shoot more than he creates. Hence, like, he's more deadly scoring the goal than he is creating the goal for me. And what I see, because he was like that at Chelsea. That's what he did at Chelsea. Like, I don't.
Would you be saying that 3 weeks ago before he scored these 3 goals?
No. I mean, while watching him play at Chelsea, I would say that. Yeah. I mean, but because of the player that he was at Chelsea, that's what I thought we were going to get. We're going to get someone that's going to be a goal first number 10 at that point. Someone that's going to shoot, put himself in position to shoot a little bit more. Because as much as I love Bruno, Bruno's not a. He's a playmaker. He's not a shoot first number 10. I mean, Garnacho's a shoot first number 10. He just can't shoot.
Like, I mean, let me get through some of the comments here. Finton says, what about a keeper? Again, I don't think a keeper is going to be top priority. There was some reports even last week suggesting that Amorim is happy with the mentality of Onana, even though he has been making some mistakes. He likes the type of mentality he has within the dressing room. So
Hey,
yeah,
we may finally get a Milinkovic Savage, just not the one that we've always wanted.
exactly. Yeah, that when I heard, I seen Milinkovic Savage being linked with United, and I was going, "Oh lads, it's 2015 again here. What is going on?"
Did you see that guy? That guy's 6'9".
I know,
He's a
and
monster, isn't he?
unit.
I watched some highlights of him, and he's quicker than Donnarumma. I watched him. I'm like, because I had never heard of him, so I start googling him, and I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
And that he's got that face like I'm just gonna come out and kill somebody.
I just gonna like, I just you're all bowling pins, and I'm the ball. Get out the fucking way. You know what I mean?
That'd be great.
D says we're going to be okay. He's getting back properly and will transform this team in the summer completely. Well, look, I hope you're right. I really do. Finn says with the hiding we are after getting this season, it will take some shift to shake that off. A lot of damaged players in that squad. That's a good point as well. D says Fergie had 24 points in a season, and look at everything we achieved after the fact. Let's see. Finn says, are Leacha and De Ligt looking like Shaw 2.0 injury-prone players are killing us? Well, I'll throw that to you guys. Well, look, whatever about De Ligt, I think De Ligt is has been a bit, but Leacha maybe. You know, I mean, what way is he going to return? You know, the third big injury he's had at United, and it's his biggest one, and it's going to keep mounting till next season. I mean, do you think he's got the mindset to, just to shake it off and come back and, reignite his career?
Yeah, I think he has.
I'm not the only one that gets the point wrong.
I think that's part of his game, though, isn't it? He's not one of them that's going to. If he's going into a tackle, he's going into a tackle, and we know that with him. So he's going to pick the odd injury up here and there. I think it's more unlucky what he's done.
Yeah, they've all been like, he hasn't pulled up with an injury. You know what I mean?
Well, the foot thing.
Oh, the foot thing was just but that was a bone break out of nothing. How does that even happen?
Yeah.
So I mean, the foot thing, and then he tried to come back too early, and he ended up re-injuring himself. But then the guy, like, I have this debate with one of my buddies, Edmund, that's one of our subscribers. Like, the other injury with his knee, the guy fell on him. Like,
yeah, it just fell on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it fell on his knee and crunched it the wrong way. And then this one, okay, so he popped his ACL. Like, that's going to happen. I mean, you look at Jurrien Timber. It happened to him, too. He played like 30 minutes and he popped his ACL. It's going to happen. So I think Leacha, of all the players that we have, is a player that's going to have the mentality to come back and be like, I'm going to wreck somebody. And I'm just going to do that. The Ligt just plays hard. And I just think that, he's a stonewall defender. And I think, I don't think there's many guys that aren't going to get a couple knocks here and there. Euro. I don't know. I haven't read. Did they say what happened to him? I mean, usually they don't, but they say that it's not, that he's probably going to be okay for Wednesday.
Sorry. There was an update out there on Jonathan Tah. Remember, he was linked with us last week, but it looks like he's going to Bayern Munich, I think.
I would always think that one.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, look, let's talk a little bit about the because obviously there'll be no podcast next week because we'll be smack bang in the middle of a Europa League final. Unless we
we can't do the podcast as the watch along.
Right, I'm going to this live event. I'm going to this live event, and I'm excited about the live event, but I'm worried that I won't be able to live stream up at it, because I'm going after work, and I have to bring my own equipment, and I'm going to have a microphone on stage, and then I'm going to have this microphone to talk to YouTube. I don't know what it's going to be like. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know, but yeah, I don't want to not be live because I mean. Have I done a live for a final yet? I think we've been in 3 finals, and I don't think I did do. No, I done one for.
I think he did the FA Cup, so I went out in the FA Cup. Did he do the FA Cup?
I was on holidays for the FA Cup, but I done one when we won the Carabao Cup. Yeah, so I want to be live for it more than that. But anyway, look, let's talk about it. Build up to it. Some interesting news for Spurs. Firstly, in relation to Kulusevski, he got an operation today.
Seen that picture.
But does that mean he's out or?
Yeah,
He's
I've
out.
read
Okay.
that he's out.
Right, he's out.
Madison's out.
Madison is out, and there's one more. I think I seen one more name today. Anyway,
Who cares? We're Man United. We'll just beat anybody in final.
Yeah.
Let's get him.
right.
The only player that scares me on that team, to be honest, is Brennan Johnson because he always scores against us.
Yeah, right. So look, what are your thoughts in the build up to this game? Look, this time next week. This time next week, please God, we'll be like 3-0 up, with 10 minutes to go, and it'll be done and dusted. But what's the confidence levels like going into the game? I'll go to you first, Ben. Are you confident going into the game? I mean, like we've been talking about United being, quite formidable in Europe this season. And a lot of that maybe being down to the fact that the tempo is not as high and so on and so forth. But we're playing a Premier League team, and we know how bad we've been against Premier League teams this season. So what's the thoughts going into it?
I'm taking Europa form into it. We're unbeaten. Let's go at them. And I think we're going to win comfortably. To be honest with you, I know it's crazy to say, but that's my belief.
I like it.
Tell us again that we've not scored in Europe.
No, we're undefeated in Europe.
Ben, I fucking love it, man. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Right, Chris, come on, bring us back down to earth.
No, I'm kind of with Ben. I think it's I think it's going to be something very similar to our last game, where I think that they may go up 1, and then I think we're going to come back and we're going to win like 4-1, 3-1, 4-1, somewhere in there, because I just think that I think we may make a mistake early, but I think that with the form that we have in the way that Spurs play, they're going to be more wide open than we are, and I think that's going to lend us a lot of chances. Where I think and I think that, don't get me wrong, I could see Christian Romero getting sent off because that's the type of player he is. Like, I think that it's. Like I think it's. I would say I'm comfortable in 3-1 us.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I honestly, I don't see. Every time we played Spurs this season, we've gotten a little bit better.
Yeah. I'm nervous. I won't lie. I really am nervous. I don't know. I'm not as confident as you going into the game. It's.
I think it's what's at stake in it, though. I think that's the nervous thing.
Stake. But what frightens me as well is the mentality of this team, where now, and there are individuals within it, and I'll touch on that in a second. But the majority of this team, when the going gets tough, you know what I mean? That's what I'm worried about. Now, there are players like Casemiro, like Bruno Fernandes, that could just go, we're not fucking allowing this to happen, and drag us 100%. Over the line. Or somebody like Ahmad, Ahmad has to start. He does. So. Casemiro has to start. Obviously, Bruno has to start. Defensively is where probably the biggest test will be in my eyes, because who's going to be available. De Ligt is now. Look, Ruben Amorim said today, in relation to the 3 of them, he said, I don't know if they're going to be available. We're going to try and push because it's the final matches and there is a final. All the players want to play really bad. I don't think they will go to Chelsea, but we will have a possibility to have some of them in the final. And that was in relation to Yaro De Ligt and Aiden Heaven. So, we're probably going to see, if that's the case, like if Yaro De Ligt and Aiden Heaven are out, we're going to have Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, and Mazraoui. Yeah. And that all depends whether Delo is back as well.
Yeah. I think that of all those players that I want back, I want Euro back, because I don't want Luke Shaw anywhere near the team.
Yeah,
I don't want him to see the field.
And in fairness, Yaro has slotted into that left side of the back 3 really well the last few games. He's really been building up a good head of steam there. And you could even see against West Ham on the weekend when he was moved central, he didn't look as confident. You know what I mean? No. I think that left side of the 3 suits him.
I think if we can keep Luke Shaw out of the squad, I mean not out of the squad, but off the field, I think we have a very good chance of winning because I think Luke Shaw will do something stupid and will cost us a goal. I mean, he's part of that regime that you need to get out of United.
Yeah,
I think. I mean, it's that, like you just said, Jack, that mentality of, oh, when something bad happens, we're just going to let it keep the bad keep happening. Where you have the Casemiros and the Ugartes and the Ahmads that are going to stand up and say, no, we're going to come out here and fight like we did against Lyon and everything. And like we came out and we fought against Bilbao and everything. Like, I think that mentality, like Ben said, the Europa mentality, I think is going to carry over. And I think that with what's on the line and winning a trophy for, I think I trust the guys now. My problem is, I wish we had somebody else instead of Erasmus up top, because he just, maybe, light will shine down and God will touch him and he'll score 3 goals, but like
touch him in the right areas.
Exactly. And I'm like going, I mean, with him being up there, yeah, he runs around and stuff, but I mean, man, like his confidence level is so bad. It's unbelievable. And
the more I look at him, the more I think he's just not up to it, to be quite honest with you. I really don't.
And I agree with you. I agree with you because his runs are so off and so slow, and he hides behind defenders. And I used to sit there and as we've been on the channel, oh, we're not giving him service, we're not doing this. But as you watch him, he hides behind center backs, and he doesn't step out in front, and he doesn't show to get the ball. It's like he doesn't want the ball and everything. Like, it's like maybe he's only good for the 3-yard tap in, which, to be honest with you, it looked like you almost missed it. You were at the game. It's just like he almost got wrong-footed and almost missed it. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
But I just, with that being said, like, I think that I think we should be confident, and I think that, with who we have and what's going on in Europe, like, I wouldn't. The problem is, my best 11 is leaving one of our better players out of the squad.
All right, give it to me then.
Like, I'm thinking, if Euro's healthy, I'm going to go with Euro being healthy. You're going to have Euro on the left, you're going to have Maguire, and you're going to have Mazraoui, and then you're going to have I think Lindelof plays, and I think Mazraoui plays. I know,
see, that's the problem. That's the fucking problem. Would you rather play Lindelof or Luke Shaw?
I would rather play Lindelof, to be honest with you.
Oh, fuck, he looks
because Lindelof plays on the right. So I'd rather play Lindelof on the right. Because the problem is, so here's my question. Is Delo healthy? Because if Delo healthy, Mazraoui is going to play on the right side, and Delo's going to play on the right wing back. If he's not healthy, then I think you're going to have Lindelof and you're going to have Mazraoui out there, two defenders to play against Son or whoever's out on the left. And then my problem is I would play Bruno and Casemiro as the deep lying midfielders, and then I'd have Mount and Ahmad and Rasmus up top with Dorgu on the left.
So say your 2 number 6s again.
I'd have Casemiro and Bruno.
So Ugarte is out.
That's my problem. It's like my best 11 is leaving Ugarte out, because as much as I want to have Ugarte and I want to have Casemiro, those two together, then then you're leaving Mount off and you're putting Bruno up top, which I don't dislike.
The one thing I would say about that is Mount has been very effective off the bench.
He has.
So that is another option there.
My problem is like it's you've watched The Water Boy. You can't hold anything back now, so you put him out there to play.
What about playing Ahmad as a right wing back?
I don't think he's as effective. I think we need to go after him. I mean, I think he needs to be up top, and we need to go after. I think we need to go after them, and I think that's. I would rather have two more defensive players on the right to lock down Son over their left, So you have the Mazraoui Lindelof, or you have,
you can have whoever you want. If you're playing Lindelof up against Son, is fucking lights out anyway.
Well, but if you have Mazraoui over there with him, at that point. But I mean, I'm just looking at it as I like having Bruno playing a deep lying playmaker more than I like him being up top, because I think we need to have, with Rasmus being as ineffective as he is, we need to have really two guys that are going to go after goals in Ahmad and Mason Mount.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Well, look, what we want to see more than anything else next Wednesday is this. All right, that's what we want to see. All right, we want to see man upset lifting out your over. Jesus, Chat GPT is a great thing, so it is.
But here's the thing, Jack. So what do you? Let's say everything goes well and we win. What do you think all the pundits say then?
I still think the pressure is going to be there. I genuinely do. I think, Manchester United generate clicks, and generate headlines and so on and so forth. I mean, if we go and have a decent summer in the transfer window, win the Europa League or whatever the case may be, and we lose the first game of next season, see, look, winning that Europa League, papering over the cracks. They allowed Ten Hag last year to do the same thing. That's what they're going to say. You know what I mean? But it's about just getting into our own little protective bubble here and just going to everyone and going, just leave us do our own thing, and let's see what happens.
But I mean, I and like what I said at the beginning, and I want to reiterate because it really pisses me off, is that the pundits that we have, the Scholes, the Keens, and the Nevilles that are so outspoken, and even Rio to a certain extent, is that I don't understand why they don't do something to help the club instead of try to hurt the club so bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's my
issue, and I'd like to call them out about it and be like,
yeah. But even you look on the flip side of things, when has that ever happened? Like Jamie Carragher has nothing to do with Liverpool. Steven Gerrard has not, even when they're doing well, and when they were doing, poor in the 90s and the 2000s. Alan Hansen wasn't in the club, or you know what I mean. Unless you're the manager or you're part of the coaching
staff, doesn't happen then.
Yeah, I don't think it is something that happens. Like, unless you're a manager or you're part of the coaching staff, I don't see, we've got Man City on the weekend. Let's get in Roy Keane to give a motivational speech, because, then would the players be going, why can't the fucking manager rile us up for this game? Or why aren't we getting riled up ourselves? You know what I mean? Self-motivation and all that kind of stuff, Yeah.
See, I guess it's just different over here because, like in the NFL, players do go back and they.
Oh yeah,
because they care about the culture of their franchise.
Yeah,
and
what would happen here is you'd see, you'd see it in the news. Rio Ferdinand has gone back in to try and help Ruben Amorim to turn Manchester United's depleting season around. And lads are just going to go, what the fuck is that lad going to do? Or that's just what you'd get. You know what I mean?
I got you.
You're a lot more positive over there than we are over this side of the Atlantic.
Apparently, I mean, I just don't. And the other thing is too is I don't like what they said, and I was watching it earlier today with Scholes and Neville, and they're talking about it, and they're unrealistic on what they think Amorim's going to be able to get out of these players.
Yeah.
And I wanted to. I mean, I wish I was on one of those shows. I wanted to stand up and be like, when you came in the squad when Ferguson was there, and you came in the squad, who'd you have playing next to you?
Yeah.
Compared to these guys.
Well, like you look at, I remember when that charity game that played last year with the United players. I remember being in the pub after it, and we were sitting around with some of them. Brian McClare was sitting there, and they were talking about. This was in August, I think. So we were close to the season kicking off. We had a lot of our business done. And as we're going, where do you think United will finish? And someone said, I think they'll finish, fourth or fifth. And Brian McClare started laughing. He said, you're in fucking cuckoo land. So yeah, well, that's a Roy Keane phrase. But he said, you're away with the fairies. He said, Manchester United will not finish in the top four, the top five. They're not good at this set. Players are not good enough. You know what I mean? So there there are former players there that know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? And that, you know, have obviously done it as well and stuff like that. But anyway, look, that's a conversation for another day. Let's all settle down and go our separate ways and enjoy the rest of the evening, because I'm nervous. As the days go on, I'm getting more and more nervous. I'm going to try and distract myself as much as possible, try and get as much sleep as I can, because as the closer this day comes, the more broken my sleep is going to be.
But who do we play on Friday then? Do we play Chelsea. The kids on Friday?
Oh, I know 100%. 100. Take the fucking under 15s and play them. You know what I mean? Just in case someone else gets injured in the under 17s that you might need to bring the following Wednesday. Just you know what I mean? Like, what's the point in risking it? What's the point in risking it? You know what I mean?
Are we doing a watch along Friday or no?
Yeah, I'm going to do a watch along Friday. Yeah, we'll do a watch along Friday. And then obviously we'll do a couple of lives at the start of next week. We might do the match preview live maybe next Monday or Tuesday then as well. But lads, look, as always, thanks for dropping by. And I'm sure I'll chat to you on Friday. Watch along.
Yeah, catch you later.
Cheers, lads. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks to everybody for watching as well, guys. If you haven't already done so, do smash a like on the video for us. Hit that subscribe button, share, comment underneath, all of that good stuff. It helps the algorithm. It helps the channel out an awful lot. Like I said, it's going to be a very, very important week. This time next week, hopefully we'll be Europa League champions and everything will be rosy for another 3 months until the Premier League kicks off again next season. But thanks for listening, guys. Really do appreciate it. Have a great evening, and I will chat to you over the weekend. Take it easy and good luck.